high expectations, but we go into every year expecting to contend, and we felt that we accomplished one of our goals last year, which was to get back to postseason, but we didn't finish the job, and we don't want to put any pressure on the team because a lot of it has to do with good health, and it's a relentless season, but we both have very high expectations for this team. We're optimistic and we're excited.
Yeah, we don't have to put any pressure on because they apply their own pressure. So we had a great meeting this morning, and we're all really happy to be back. As Tom said, we didn't finish our business last year. It was a disappointing way to end the season, and so there's a lot to accomplish this year.
John, did you or Tom address the team?
Tom did.
I did, on behalf of both of us, and just started out by thanking them for what they accomplished last year. There's a lot to be proud of. The team had the best offense in all of baseball. We had a Cy Young winner and 2 MVP candidates, and the team played beautifully all season, but obviously all of us were disappointed at the abrupt ending. So I just thanked them and made a reference to Tom Brady and the Patriots, and what we could take from that in terms of hard work and practice, and we wish them good luck.
John, how strange is it to be here and not see David Ortiz in uniform and playing for your team?
I've been thinking about that all week, and that it is strange. We miss him at our level, and
I know some people in the front office went down to the Dominican to see him. I guess Tom, you were there. Is there any progress in terms of David taking some sort of role in the organization?
Well, that remains to be defined, but I know David expects to have a role going forward, and I think he feels that it's probably good to have spring training start and not be a presence, but I would hope that at some point he would come here and address the team about leadership, and we are talking to him frequently, and we expect that he'll have a role which he will principally define, but that will be important.
Would you ever put a blank check in front of him and say come back?
Well, he said that he's retired, and I think all of you know that he played last year in quite a bit of pain.
Actually, I don't think they know quite how much pain he was in last year. Maybe, but I don't think so. Not just last year.
Any concerns that you lose a leader like that, you lose a presence like that in the clubhouse, or do you feel the leadership group in that clubhouse is ready to step up and fill
Sure,
that void?
no doubt about it. We lost someone who was at the top of his game and was a huge presence, but that just can say increases our challenge this year. It's part of life. You move on.
How do you two look at your run as ownership? Reflect on that a little bit from what you've learned over the years. Would you have done anything differently as you sit here today, as you get ready for another season?
We might not have started doing this every year.
We do reflect on it because this is our 15th anniversary this month, and I think we were cocky when we came in and said that we would win multiple World Series. We certainly experienced the pain of not doing the job and the joy of winning, and I could just say for both of us that we continue to be focused and hungry, and we think that we have the resources to be competitive every year, and under Sam's guidance, and he's learned a lot from Larry, that we are focused on revenues because they allow us to have have a strong club every year, and we're focused on the fan experience, and we're focused on how to bring kids to Fenway and how to make the experience enjoyable and how to improve the ballpark every year. So I think we're still on top of it and excited about going to work every day. And Larry used to say, we're in the toy department of life. So I think we feel privileged to be part of the Red Sox. It's not going to be forever, but we're very proud of what we've done, and yet we're hungry to continue to do better.
John, on the matter of Fenway Park, improvements at Fenway, it's kind of an annual question I'll pose to both of you. Reaching the maximum point where there's really not much more you can do to Fenway other than maintenance, or is there still like an exciting blueprint to draw somewhere?
I'm not sure that we feel the need to go too much further with Fenway Park. I think it's a tremendous experience to be there. There's been 15 years of tender loving care going in on an annual basis, and it's been sort of built to last for the next at least 30 years, if not 50 years. So I don't think we see a lot of changes. We continue to make changes. You'll see changes this year, but there's nothing that's driving us. I think we have some thoughts outside of the ballpark in that area. We own property in that area, and I think we should look to develop it in a way that would be meaningful for the fans that come, the 3 million plus fans that come every year. But so I think you'll see probably more changes outside of the ballpark. Substantive big changes, I think, is what you're talking about, would be more outside of the ballpark than inside.
As you've had the offseason to digest the new collective bargaining agreement, what sort of obstacles does it present? Do you feel like how much do you feel like you'll have to pick your spots in terms of going over the threshold?
I don't see that changing a lot. As far as the threshold is concerned, there are years we've been over and years we've been under. I think that'll be the case under this new CBA. I think CBA with the CBT this year, we want to be under. But frankly, revenue sharing is a bigger issue than the CBT. We spend a lot of money. There are a lot of teams that spend a lot of money, big numbers. So there's a whole panoply of issues, timing issues, and so forth. But I don't see it. I don't see a big change.
How concerned are you with the pace of play? Is that a major problem facing baseball?
Well, as you know, I'm on the pace of play committee, the competition committee, and I think that it is. I wouldn't say it's a problem. I think it's a challenge, and that we have to address it. We always look at the changes that are made in football, and they seem to make changes every year, and nobody says, "Oh my God, the game's terrible." The fact is that we are always looking to make the game more crisp. I think you all know that it's a very minor change, but this year, if a manager wants to call an intentional walk, then we're not going to have the pitcher throw 4 balls. And that's a very tiny change. It's only going to save 15 seconds maybe, but it makes the game more crisp. So we're focused on how to shorten the amount of time for an instant replay. I mean, nobody would call it instant right now, but we have a directive now to New York to see if all calls can be within 2 minutes, and we have a directive to make sure that the manager decides or not within 30 seconds. So we're trying to push the game to be under 3 hours. Some people, I think that there are experiments going on, and I'm for experiments. I know that there's a lot of debate about how to deal with extra innings, but nobody wants a game to end a 17-inning game where you wasted all your pitchers and you bring in a shortstop to pitch the 17th inning. So we're having a lot of conversations. The group that is talking about it is going to be expanded to players and general managers, and hopefully, we'll make some improvements to keep the game as crisp as it can be.
John, how would you?
By the way, let me just follow up, is that this is a huge issue for our commissioner, something he really feels strongly about, and he's committed. I think you would say he is absolutely committed to improving the pace of play, which I think in 2017, in the media landscape, in the entertainment landscape, and in sportscape, is critical.
How about limiting the number of pitchers one can use in an inning?
Well, that's a matter of some conversation, and but one of the things that Rob is doing is he's also having conversations with all the stakeholders, with fans, with sponsors, and I know that's one of the issues that are under discussion, as is the number of mound visits. That, I think we've all watched a catcher go to the mound multiple times in an inning, and that certainly is not helping pace of play.
John, how would you characterize the organization's commitment to analytics? You talked last spring a little bit about not being quite as reliant on the numbers. Do you feel that you did that last year, and then you had some baseball ops guys leave at the end of the season? Where are you guys now with that?
I don't think it was related to. I don't think they're leaving. They were offered tremendous jobs. If it's the people I think you're referring to, but I think ever since I made that statement, I've been saying it was overblown, and so.
So we ran too hard with it after you said that?
Absolutely, but once a year, because I only talk generally about once a year, maybe twice a year. Some things are, I think that was blown out of proportion. We still are heavily analytics based. I think we always will, because I don't think you can function 2017 as a viable baseball organization without top drawer analytics.
Tom, is there any consideration for reducing commercial breaks? I mean, is it economic?
I could just speak for myself. I think that is a good idea. And one of the things that I saw that the NFL did this year, they had an experiment at the end of the year where they moved their commercial break so that one network tried it one way, another tried it another way. I'd be for less commercial breaks, because I think that increases the ratings. So in the end, I think it's a good idea.
John, can you guys talk about Pablo and just where he's at and your thoughts about him right now?
Tom?
Well, we saw him this morning. I think that he has a lot that he wants to prove. I heard he talked to the media yesterday and was very articulate, and he's an all-star player, and we've got a lot of confidence that he's going to have a good year.
Now that you've had a full year under your belt working with Dave Dombrowski, what's your evaluation of how he's done here, especially kind of in light of the aggressive trade for sale?
I think he's done a tremendous job. I think all of us in the organization think he's done a tremendous job. Very hands-on, and Tom?
Well, you can see he's there in the clubhouse every day. He's has an exceptional relationship with the players. I think just to be specific for one player, I think that he had a special relationship with Hanley Ramirez a year ago at this time. There was a lot of conversation about how's Hanley going to do, and I think that John Farrell and Dave Dombrowski can be credited for some of what Hanley did. Obviously, he's an exceptional athlete, so that's just one specific. But John's known him for decades, and he's just a strong, solid, great general manager and president.
In the past, you guys have wrestled with the question of short-term versus longer-term assets, trades like Beckett. How did you guys view the decision to trade for sale, given the kind of quality of prospects that you guys were parting with in order to acquire?
We still have a lot of prospects. With David leaving, I think there was a feeling that we should do something, and filling that I think our offense has been strong and will be strong this year. When this opportunity came about, it was tough to give up two of the best prospects in baseball. But I think we all agreed that this was a rare opportunity.
But just to add to that, when Dave talked to John and me about it, it was important to us that the core of our team this year would not be broken up. I think that if I asked you, Chris Sale is on the market, you'd say, well, what young player of the Red Sox who's in the major leagues would have to be traded for him. So we did keep the core of our team together, and obviously it's very difficult to give up one of the great prospects in baseball, but we now have an all-star pitcher under our control for 3 more years. So, and I think that it was a tough trade, but we're excited about seeing how it unfolds.
With the Pomerantz trade, you guys did have a chance to rescind that, and did that go to ownership level, that decision?
I don't know if we want to reopen the discussion. It was all the facts of that were, a lot of the facts were a little bit different than I think what generally was spoken about. But I really don't want to open that back up again. We're really glad to have Drew here this year.
So, kind of going off my earlier question, what's your evaluation been of John Farrell, especially given the contract extension you guys gave to him at the end of last season?
He's an outstanding leader, and there's a lot of facets to being a great general manager, and I think he ticks all the boxes. And not only that, but I think we all know that he overcame personal health issues last year, and he's the right guy to be our leader this year and for the future.
John, earlier you mentioned improvements perhaps outside of Fenway Park. Would that be something that would benefit fans or give the team more space, or what sort of maybe generally improvements are you talking about?
Actually, it's both.
Well, for example, I'm sure you've been up to our offices, and the offices where baseball ops is, that one of the things that are under discussion is we're obviously cramped there, and we're cramped if you look at the working conditions below us. So we might move our offices outside of Fenway Park and open that space up for more fan improvements.
Is this something you guys have planned out at this point, or is it just more theory, or
somewhere in between? Somewhere
we're studying.
There's blueprints somewhere.
You talked about how last year you didn't finish your business. With a team like this, with the players you guys have, how do you determine success, given especially how the way the playoffs can go sometimes?
For me, we want every September and October to be meaningful, and you can't always win a ring. That's obviously what every player and every, I think, executive in baseball is shooting for. But just from my perspective, a season is a success if you're playing meaningful games in September, October.
Tom, you said a little while ago that it's not going to be forever talking about ownership. Have either of you considered what might make you say, okay, I'm on to another venture, or when that might be?
No, I think when I say forever, I mean we hope to be healthy and focused for a long, long time. But we know that nothing is forever. But this is something that is not something we're going to be contemplating. Hopefully, we'll be having these conversations in 10 or 15 more years.
Our partnership group is real. After 15 years together, and most of us have been together now 15 years. There's nothing about this that we don't. There are a few things we don't enjoy, but almost every day we talk about how fortunate we feel to be involved with this organization. Tremendous organization that has accomplished tremendous things, and it really is, from our perspective, a meaningful wonderful experience to come here every year, to start over every year. And while I said we consider a success to be playing meaningful games in October, really, in September, we really are focused on that fourth ring as much as we were focused on the first. Anything short of that I think we would say is a limited success. I know every few years we have to swat down rumors that we're perhaps sellers, but that's just not something that we talk about. How long can we do this, not when should we stop.
David Price called last season a disappointment. Did you see it that way, and do you expect more from him in 2017?
Yeah, he only won 17. Tom today said he only won 17 games.
Only won 17 games, pitched 220 innings.
But the season ended badly from our perspective, from their perspective. So, go ahead.
I just think when we signed him, we were excited about his leadership on and off the field. I think the way he handled some of the bumps last year was impressive, and I know he's hungry to do even better this year. Thank you.
Break up the 20 good years line.
That's right.
Thanks for watching today's press conference from Fort Myers. We'll continue to bring you these throughout the spring training schedule. We now rejoin our regularly scheduled programming.